I'm gonna go, guys. Good luck.
Right, see you later. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that was indeed an interesting way to get into the first live stream on the PC. I'm just going to do a little sound check and check we are live and we are all good. 1 second. It does appear that we are live. Excellent. Okay, so welcome, ladies and gents. This has been a long time coming, actually. I've been doing it quite a lot. Been doing an awful lot of commentary within FRL over the last 5-6 months on the PlayStation side, PS4, PS5, and the goal was always to come over here and actually, you know, get involved with you boys on the PC side and girls, obviously. So this evening we have round 1 of the Formula Racing League Pure Sim Gear GT3 Friday session, and round 1, as you can see, is at Barcelona. So I'm sure we're going to have a very interesting evening. Qualifying is obviously just about to get started, so we will keep our eye on that. And just to bring everybody up to speed, you can obviously watch the stream on the FRL Twitch channel. You should also be able to watch the stream on my YouTube channel, COMMS by Coop, so whichever takes your fancy, and I'm sure there'll be people there to have a chat with you when we're going across there. So qualifying is just getting started. In terms of the grid setups for this evening, we've got a pro and we've got an AM category, as you'd expect. The ladies and gents have been beavering away, setting some very, very good lap times, obviously to let each other know what split they're in. So just need to change that later. Ended. So we have got 19 drivers in the AM category and 20, that's right, 20 in the pro category, which evidently that makes 39 drivers. So in terms of, you know, the competition this evening, I think it's going to be quite intense. We will obviously run through during the qualifying session. We'll have a look at a lap guide. We'll keep our eye on the splits and see who's doing what. And at the moment, it's a 20-minute qualifying session. The AM drivers, they get a 10-minute session first, and then when their session finishes, of course, we move on, and the pro guys will come out and do their quick laps. So they can come to the end of the pit lane, yeah, but they can't obviously, you know, they can't press the loud button until the 10 minutes is clicked over. So let's just watch that. Okay. So let's get out there and let's start having a look. Right, so the AM guys are out first of all, so let's have a quick look through those. So you will all be able to recognise, the amateur drivers will obviously have the red background to their car numbers, and the pro drivers evidently will then have the white ones. We do have a 60-minute race this evening with 1 manual stop. That stop will be 4 tyres only, no fuel, so I hope you all have calculated those fuel levels correctly. You don't want to have some fuel saving time. Let's have a look. So Ian Thompson is well known community as he comes out. So what we're going to try and do is tools that can be ready to take and do that. And hopefully that will work nicely. Straight into the pits. So season 3, during the course of this season, obviously I'm going to get to know a lot of the drivers, start doing driver interviews, so we can talk to various individuals within the pro and the AM platform. Let's see. better? Is that better, chaps? Let me know, please. Bristol's got about 17 screens out watching all the streams as he likes to do. That's better, yeah? Okay, we'll leave it as it is. Fantastic. Right, so Stuart Pryor then in the number 10, Aston Martin. So he sets himself a time. So currently we've got Zach Dahl who's in provisional pole for the AM class in the 13 Lexus with a 1:44.752. Then we've got C Car in the 1:04 McLaren, second place, just under 3 tenths behind, so that's not too bad at the moment. And then M. Graham Rees in the 57 McLaren, he's 4 tenths further down. And then we've got the number 700 BMW, which is GT3. If I pronounce any names incorrectly tonight, please let me know. Please let me know. This is first one out the back, so we haven't all got nicknames at the moment like we do on the PlayStation. So this is a work in progress this evening, no doubt. M. Camara, the 71 Aston, is currently in 5th place, 8 tenths further back, and then M. Wilhelm in the 66 Porsche is also 8 tenths behind, 55 thousandths behind 5th place at the moment. So these guys are beginning to set their lap times now, as we've got just under 5 minutes left of their session. So we need to start thinking about who's got to come up with the goods, no doubt. Got to say a big thank you as well, everyone that's watching, everyone that does get involved within FRL, everyone that's driving this evening or that's helping out on that front. You know, a big thank you from everybody here at FRL. We know a lot of time and effort goes in. We all put in way too much time and effort, probably. Certainly our partners would concur with that, but it's for the greater good. It's for our Fridays, GT3 Fridays. It's what it's all about. So Alex Zach Dahl currently with a 1:44.732. Chris Carr has just done purple sector in sector 1 there, so he's doing a personal best at the moment, which is pretty interesting. Let's have a look at that, and that is a very nice livery McLaren there. Fresh Sim Racing, we know those boys do indeed. So everyone to me this evening is a debutant really, and I'm obviously a debutant, but I do know, I'm just going to give a little shout out here. There is one chap in particular, it's his first race tonight on PC, and I know he's extremely nervous, bless him. We know him as Traction Dave, and yeah, he's just decided to, he's decided to upscale and go over to the PC, and I don't blame him. I think that's everyone's goal eventually. But it's his first race this evening, so I know he's keen to do well. Did pretty well in terms of the lap times. Again, obviously it takes quite a bit of getting used to the transition across from PlayStation to PC, but it looks like he's doing that pretty well. So Ash is in. Evening, Ash. Hope you're well, mate. Don't do PC, but nice to see those who do. Yeah, it is. You will soon, though. I'm sure everybody will. And you guys don't have to wait long. Monday and Tuesday I'll be back on the PlayStation. It's totally fine. There we go. I'll just minimise that down a little bit. Mentioned Chris Carr was doing a personal best in sector 1. He's now gone quickest, as you can see at the top of the timing screens, with a 44.320, and he is again some purple sectors on there, which is impressive. That is impressive. So he's currently got sector 2's quickest for him. He's got potential there. So what it's saying in terms of his timings throughout the 3 sectors, he's got potential of a 1:44.257, which Alex in second place, his potential best lap from what he's done so far is a 44.599, so pretty close there. So let's Let's have a look. So, Alex. This is getting pretty close. Back to that Lamborghini. Who's in that Lambo? That's going to be number 16. Let's find this person. I'm going to mess up so many names tonight, and I do apologise. So Loris Guaglio. Go there, as you can see, Italian there in the number 20 Lamborghini as they come in to T1. Again, we will do a lap guide as soon as we get into the pros. We'll alternate that each week. I think we'll do lap guides with the AMs and the pros, give everybody the time that they're due. 15 seconds left. Now, if you do cross the line, obviously before the 10 minutes, you can complete that lap. So there is still opportunities for individuals. But as it stands, Chris Carr is currently in pole position. Well, that one is finished evidently. So Chris is in pole position at the moment. Alex is second. Michael Van Ries currently in third place. Gilles Deheen in fourth. Mark Wilhine is fifth. Stuart Pryor, sixth place. David Mazuvendish, I think that was a good effort. Oh, come on, you've got to like that effort. In the 800, he's currently seventh. Alexander D. Latour is eighth. Geordie Stratton is ninth. Ryan Blanchett currently 10th. Maximilian Camara is in 11th place, but on a lap at the moment, I think. Armand Petrovic is 12th, and then we've got AJ Bridgemahan in 13th. Ian Thompson is 14th, and then we've got Toth Adam 15th. Loris, who we're watching at the moment, is 16th. Then we've got Jeff Colombara is in 17th place. Wolfgang Kuhn is 18th, and Christopher Gedman. Christopher Gedman, what a legend he is. If anybody doesn't know Christopher Gedman, I wouldn't say why would you, but if you don't know him, he does a hell of a lot of work behind the scenes within FRL in terms of administration and helping people out. So it's good to see him in there. And We the Kev is in, fantastic. Hello, We the Kev. Right, so you boys are all having a chat amongst yourselves already, which is great news. Obviously, if you haven't left a like, please do. It's been quite an ordeal getting all this put together today, let me tell you. It won't happen like that next week, that's for sure. So, the AM guys, they are all done. And now we're going to move over and have a look and see what our pro drivers can do for us. So, who should we start with? Let's start with someone we know quite well, with Marco Keddy. There he is, in his Porsche 737. Marco's Porsche, beautiful FRL livery on there. If it wasn't for Marco, this wouldn't be live right now because we had an absolute crazy emergency meeting literally 2 seconds before, because the stream did not want to play. Thankfully it is. So let's get on board with Keddy. So up to Repsol, right-hander, hard on the brakes. We're going to trail in there into second gear, and then we're going to squeeze on the throttle. A little bit of oversteer there, you saw that correction. And then we're going to come up to this corner, so hard on the brakes into first for this one again. Trail in, squeeze on the throttle just past the apex, not too hard. We don't want to get that Porsche all sideways, and then a straight run all the way down to Worth, which is pretty much a long S's really. So you chuck her in for the left-hander, we ride that sausage curve just enough on the right-hand side, and then we're just going to have a little lift. How brave, yeah, we've had to drop a gear and then hard on the power. One of the most difficult corners on the track to get right every time. Definitely some jeopardy in that. And then hard on the brakes for the left-hander, first gear. Let's get the line right through there. A little squeeze of throttle. That's it, nicely through the gears. Take the curb on the left and back off a bit, down into second. We're just going to wait. Going to see that orange sausage curb-ish marker on the right-hand side. That's your acceleration point there. Then we're going to glide into the right hand side. We're going to look for the bridge, on the brakes under the bridge, into first, and then a little squeeze off, and then on we go. Take curb. Good. That sausage curb didn't kill him in that Porsche, which was surprising to see. So what can Keddy do? Keddy does a 44.3, so he goes provisional third at the moment. So that's not bad. First one out the bag for him. 6 minutes 20 left so far in qualifying. So I was watching a bit of free practice earlier on today, and where there was a chap chap out there who was extremely quick. So, interesting. Yeah, Amir. So Amir Kasataresh, that was the chap I was watching earlier on today. He's just done the quickest lap so far with a 44 flat, and that's an impressive time. Let's have a look at him. Let's see what he's all about, shall we? And obviously, in the Ferrari, I'm actually not being biased here. That's just purely by luck that he's also in an FRL livery car. I will get someone else on. Trust me. Trust me. I will do that in a moment. So Amir is currently in pole position. Chris Vining is second. He's not that far off really. He's under 2/10. And then we've got Giorgio Zucchetti is currently third place with a 44.250. So he's only got to find 40,000. So let's see if we can do that. Chris Carr is obviously the first placed amateur driver, is in fourth at the moment. Keddy's in fifth. Velazzi in the Bentley, the X7 Bentley, is currently sixth. And then in seventh place we've got Tugberg. Again, well known to FRL. Good to see you out there, Tugberg, in your Audi number 11. You're nearly half a second off the pace. And then we've got David Newman in the number 12 McLaren. He is half a second off the pace. Well, 2 thousandths away from that really. Ninth at the moment, Christian Berchinciello. Again, great pronunciation by me. 10th is Sebastian Liemüller. And then we've got Alex Zagdal is our next amateur who is currently in there. So Amir's ducked it into the 43s. That's impressive. That is impressive. The Ferrari, she is a good car around here. I mean, if any of you haven't seen, have a look on the channel. I'm doing a COMMS Cars series and mini bite-sized series about each individual vehicle within FRL. Within FRL? Well, yeah, we all use them within ACC. Yeah, just to give sort of overviews. Quite interesting. Have a look. Slate me. I'm happy. Whatever you do. So Amir's got purple all across the board at the moment. So that's looking fairly stable. We've got a 3/10 gap back to Michel Velazzi with a 43.692, and then Mattia Nakira in the number 15 is currently third place with a 44.1. And I mean, look at the split there. It's 3 thousandths between that individual and Zucchetti in the Bentley. So there are places to be moved. Again, remember, we have 39 drivers this evening, and I only have 2 eyes, which, yeah, there you go. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying. We will get there. Right, let's have a quick look at the chat, just see what everyone's going on about there. Friday, Ashley's got a Friday off, that's good. Well done, Ash. Teddy's done an invalid lap there, I believe. So Amir's had a little wander off. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Velazzi. Let's see. Flat Out Sim Racing. What a great name that is. Got to be Flat Out. Got to be as we come in to the chicane at the end of the lap. Two minutes left to qualifying. Let's go forward on the Bentley. Let's have a listen to that little thunderstorm, as I like to describe it, and let's have another look at a lap drive. So as we have the long run down into turn 1, it's not really a turn, it's a combination of corners into Alf. So we're going to go right down into second gear, and we're going to come off the throttle, get it tucked in. We're just going to wait a second, then we're going to punch the throttle all the way. We shouldn't have to lift there, and then we're going to just pause here, and then we're going to get back on the throttle again. Obviously we're keeping that back end in check. Full throttle now, all the way round, all the way towards Repsol. Again, hard on the brakes down to second. You've got a trail in there, but be patient on the exit. Squeeze that throttle, nice. Drag the car. Just trying to pull on him then. Drag the car over to the left, then back over to the right. Hard on the brakes, down into first. Get her tucked in. Okay, not bad, not bad. As Nachira goes provisional second. 1 minute 15 left. Into Worth. campus. So that was on the throttle early. Can't deny that. And you can actually see, right, this is the beauty of why I love all of you people that do sim racing. I was just watching there, and I like watching from this view as well. We can change the camera angles when we actually get into the race, so you can see the inputs that the driver's doing in terms of throttle and brakes, but you're watching an individual there going full pelt around Barcelona, and I'm seeing hands come off the steering wheel and tweak things. So again, it just shows just how bang on it everybody is. You know, people are making changes around the lap. Anyone think we're all real racing drivers and commentators, obviously. So that puts him. So no change there. Increase the gap slightly, but still provisional second place. And Amir is still out in front. So Velazzi second, only 2.5 tenths behind. Machira's in third place in that 15 Audi, and then we've got Chris Vining in fourth, Giuseppe fifth, Tadama's in sixth at the moment, and then we've got Ippolito. I hope it's better than one. We'll figure that one out later. In the 68 Porsche, 8.5 tenths down. Keddy is a little bit further down, is in the pit, so I think he's decided that's his qualifying done as we have moved into the wait time. And then we've got Carr. So look at, what a great qualifying lap by Chris Carr there. First amateur driver is 9th on the grid, so he's mixing it in with all the pros. That's fantastic to see. Lee Muller is in 10th in the 984 BMW. Berticelli is 11th in the 92 Ferrari. Dave Newman in the 12 McLaren is in 12th place. That's good. Tugberg's 13th in his Audi, and then we've got Carrequez is 14th in the 84 Bentley. So the top 12 are separated by a smidge, and I mean a smidge over a second. You've got to think, you know, it's not the biggest track in the world. You're going to have 39 people having a lot of fun. So there we go. Let's have a look at that leaderboard. We'll just wait for that to finish. And there we go, ladies and gents. So congratulations to me in pole position. Thank you for that as well. Great, I like it when he does that. So pole position for Amir. Very good effort from him. Obviously don't want that to keep up. Okay, there we go. Got a little bit of chat going on there. That's all good. James Williams, car 491, last across the line. Okay, so we've got to line up. Again, we have a 60-minute race, one mandatory stop, no fuel. So everybody, double check. Please double check those fuel levels. We've got a couple of minutes left, so obviously the guys are now just double checking all of their setups. That I need to tweak the tyres. Has the track temperature changed? Well, I can tell you, we do have an optimal track. Ambience 20, on track is 25. It was 30 in qualifying. So if anyone's missed that might be watching the stream. Check those tyre pressures, check those brake ducts. Okay. So again, Amir, well done, you're on pole. Velazzi, second place, well done to you. And Nachira, third place, nice. Lining up alongside Dipolito in the Porsche. Then we've got Chris Vining and Tugberg in 5th and 6th. Tadima 7th, Giuseppe 8th, Keddy 9th, Carr, again, I'm going to give Carr pole in the AM class, obviously, in 10th, Lee Muller 11th, and then we've got Bertoncello in 12th, Newman 13th, Carrequez 14th, Guard by 15th, sorry. Zach Dahl is the number 2. Amateur driver is 16th overall. Then we've got Martin, who is 17th in his Beamer. Van Ries is 18th, number 3 in the AM class. And then we've got Oz is 19th in the 503 Ferrari. Daheen is 20th. Wilhine is 21st. 1 second. So Wilhine is 21st. Ryan O'Sullivan's 22nd. Artem Kadezov is 23rd. Stuart Pryor 24th. Loris Guaglio 25th. David Maya Zuvendish is 26th. Alexander De La Tour 27th. Then we've got Geordie Stratton is 28th. Ryan Blanchett 29th. Maximilian Camara is 30th. Armand Petrovic 31st. AJ Brijwahan is 32nd. Ian Thompson 33rd. Toth is 34th. Jeff 35th. I've got to get there. Wolfgang 36th. And Gedman, Mr. Christopher Gedman,
22nd.
is bringing up the rear, but no doubt. Let's go there, shall we?
10 seconds.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, are we ready? I'm ready. I hope you are. Okay, so formation lap. Obviously, look at that. Beautiful sight. 39 brave warriors ready to do battle around Barcelona. So we're going to go on helicam, obviously, so we can keep an eye on everything that's potentially going to happen there. We'll start, not mid-pack, we'll start sort of towards the end of the top, like we'll start in 7th. We'll keep an eye on Rick Tadima for Schubert Motorsport there. So, ladies and gents, I hope you're all ready. You're going to get very used to some of the things that I like to say, and one of them, there is a word which is definitely been copywritten by myself, and that is epic, and I am foreseeing this Friday evening's race as being just that. Competition will be stiff, no doubt. We do have a whole season in front of us, so we don't need any crazy heroics into turn 1 and turn 2. I'm sure all these guys, having done thousands of hours worth of practice, no doubt, will all behave themselves, and if they don't, we obviously have the live stewarding going on this evening by no other than James Williams, yes, FRL CEO. He's got his beady eyes out this evening. It's all good, we don't mind. I've got to get him to stop doing that. Because you guys don't want to keep seeing my menu, I'll figure that out for next week, so bear with me. Apologies, it's my first stream on the PC. Let's see how it goes. Right, anybody in the live chat have anything interesting to say about what they think is going to happen in this race? New Ham, yeah, alright Michael. Michael races, he's Traction Dave's mate. Yeah. Yeah, Dave Newman. Dave Newman. See now. But Dave's going a bit nutty there. Getting quite annoyed about that. You do realise, Michael, that I'm trying to keep an eye on and read out 37 individuals there in qualifying. So if I did make the odd error, yeah, I'm pronouncing some of the more exotic names in our lineup, I do apologise. I will do my best not to do that again. Okay? Right. Close that one down a bit. Okay, so coming down the back straight, a little bit of weaving going on. Trying to get some heat into those tyres. Right, as they come through, they're all, obviously they're formed up 2 by 2. We are ready. We're going to get onto the start-finish straight. Good luck, everybody. Fingers crossed. Let's have a excellent race for the first one for the Pure Sim Gear GT3 Friday here, Formula Racing League on ACC. Again, check out the website, formularacinglleague.co.uk, all the series. And we're off. Okay, let's have a look at that. So that looks like a half-decent start there. It looks like Velazquez's got a good start. Amir looks like he's gone back a couple of places there. Let's see what line he's going to take into T1. Everyone else behind seems to be fairly well behaved at the moment. We've got 4 wide there, which is, well, that could be interesting. I don't think they're going to get through T1 4 wide. We've got 3 bits of contact, 4 bits of contact going on at the back. So we'll have to make sure we've got there. So Christian Berticello in the Ferrari. He's being pushed very, very wide, as you can see there. Oh, just about catches hold of that. That was very nearly trying to just get on the throttle a little bit too early there. So up front we have currently got Machira. Obviously the timing screen's on the left is doing its favourite thing during the early part of the lap, but Mattia is currently leading, and then Velazzi is half a second behind in the 87. As they all come filing through, everyone looks like they're behaving themselves at the moment, which is good. Let's have a look. So Chris Carr in the AM class has lost a place there, so Keddy has managed to move himself up one, which is good news for him. Let's have a look at Keddy. Let's get on board. Let's actually have a look and have a listen. Let's see if we can feel the stress that he's going through at the moment. You can see Chris Carr's all over the back of him. He's gone wide. Again, in these early lap or two, it's about keeping pace, taking an opportunity. If it is, when I say safe, I don't mean please come through, but taking a chance if there is one, and getting those tyres and brakes warmed up properly. Not overdoing it. Oh, we've got, oh my word, we've got a spin out. Who is that? That is Tuckberg. Tuckberg is left of the track. So Tuckberg looked like he got himself a real big handful there into that corner and lost the back end. There may have been a touch. I'm not sure if there was a touch or not, but yeah, that certainly spat him out. So they're looking for Tuckberg. He's falling, look, you see him falling rapidly down the grid. That is a shame. That is a shame. But up top, so Mattia Machara is currently purple sectors, sector 2, sector 3. We've got an 8 and 7/10 gap back to Velazzi, and then we've got a 1.3 second to Bonito in the 68 Porsche. Amir's managed to settle that down. He's in 4th place at the moment, 2 seconds further back though. And then we've got Kuzvain in the Aston. He's half a tenth behind him, so we need to look at that one there. So Keddy and Lee Muller. So Beamer versus Porsche. Was there a tap, or was that just no? That wasn't a tap. There was no one there. So these two look like they're getting themselves settled in for a nice 56-minute battle there, and just behind. So quickest lap's gone to Velazzi. There you can see that. We've just gone purple. So that gap's come down between first and second to 4/10, and we've still got a 1.1 second gap. Then Amir's 2 behind. Vining's only 6/10, and then we've also got Zucchetti's also only half a second behind. So this top pack, as we saw in qualifying, the top, I believe it was 12, were only separated by a second and 5 thousandths. So they seem to certainly be carrying that on. All got very good, similar pace. There's a nice big gather behind there, so I think we'll have a look at that. And we can see, so we're on board at the moment with the number 12 McLaren. Don't know who that is. Of course we do. It's Traction Day. So Dave's got himself into a nice little fight at the moment. He's on board. Let's see if we can feel his pain. So he's got Creackers in front of him in the 84 Bentley, and then just behind is Zach Dahl in the Lexus. That looks like an FRL liveried vehicle as well. So better be nice to your mates. As we come up to the quickest corner on the track, let's see how that McLaren is handling. Hard on the power. Everyone in Dave's living room now jumping up and down for joy. I don't know for joy, but JR. Hello JR. How are you, my friend? That's really kind of you to say that, and if anyone doesn't know what JR's saying, he's just said I'm the best commentator on ACC, and as Dave loses that place, so Zach done the 13 Lexus in the amateur class, makes a move on Dave in the pro class. Not saying nothing, we'll see you in the Discord. Joking, Dave, joking. Come on, Dave, go. Yeah, Keddy's doing really well. Keddy is doing well. So Amir, he now pulls the fastest lap. So you can remember, Amir qualified on pole, but he didn't have the greatest of start. He didn't get swamped, but he certainly lost a couple of places. He seemed pretty helpless in that instance, to be fair. But it looks like now eventually we're getting some decent tyre temperatures in there. He's picking the pace up. Oh, watch out, Dave. There's Zach Dale got a big swapper on there. Again, when we did the lap guide, we were saying through turns 1, 2 and 3, they're a real high speed, very technical combination of corners. Yeah, you've got to be really careful with the balance on the car. And I think we saw there with Zach Dale, he probably got on the gas a little bit too early, or didn't back out in time as we were going into turn 3. Hence, she got all out of shape. So, no doubt, heart in the mouth moment there. Don't have a good look at the leaderboard. So, quickest lap so far, is Amir with a 44.680. So, that is a good lap time. I mean, Mattia, who's in first place, is only a few thousandths off that. So, again, it's going to be very interesting to see how all these things develop. Right, let's look further down the grid, shall we? Let's get on board with Mark Wilhern for SDHM Racing there in the 22 Porsche. Let's see what's going on down here. So in terms of the AM class, obviously we can't just stick with the pros. We've got 2 classes of drivers here that have all been putting in the same amount of blood, sweat and tears. Chris Carr's obviously leading that class at the moment, and Zach Dahl, who's having his epic fight with Traction, Dave in 13th place. And then we've got the Hain, who's 3rd in class. Laurie's is 4th in class in the Lamborghini, and then we've got this nice little gaggle here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in, and we've got a move. So De La Tour dived up the inside in the Aston there, managed to hold that position, but obviously in terms of coming in that hot, didn't really have the control needed, I would suggest. And they swap over again. So it should be a nice little battle for these guys. Let's go on Terry Cam and have a look at it. So he's wide again as we're going into the right-hander. And all the time, as I've said a million times in different streams, these two are battling away. They're trying to catch up with the pack in front of them. So, and you can see they are catching up with the pack in front, which is great. But because they're battling, you're allowing people, Petrovic in the Merc there, the 69 Merc you see at the bottom of your picture, bottom left, he seems to be getting onto the back of these guys. So, I like the look of that. I do like the look of that Aston. And obviously I love the sound of the Aston as we come into the right-hander at the bottom of the hill. Again, so important to get the braking, to get the trail braking correct in there, so you can just squeeze on the throttle and keep your line. I love the Aston, especially on PC. She's a mare on the PlayStation, but on the PC, she is a very, very nice car to drive, I have to say. Right, I'm going to come off this battle for a moment because I'm going to go on to second in class. So we've got a second in class here in the AM class, and as you can see, not too far behind at all. We've got some other individuals who want to come and play and challenge. Sorry, this is 3rd and 4th in class, so we've got the Beamer and we've got the Lamborghini of Dehane and Loris as they come round. So whilst we're watching this, you would expect that things are starting to gap. So Alex Zagdal for the FRL racing team. Sorry, Alex. Again, I'm not. Alex, I'm going to come off you for a minute. I'm going to get told off for being biased. So Artem Kudasov, Team WRT. That looks surprisingly like Rossi's car that I was very fortunate to see at the weekend. Went to Brands Hatch. It was a fantastic weekend. Took the little Agri. So he's now obviously completely addicted, and he's telling me he wants a DD1. And I said, DD, do what? Because his name is Dylan. That's a true story. He only reached the pedals, So out to the top. So Mattia is still leading this race. The laps he's in second place, and he's moving himself into third. So that's a good effort. So he's trying to obviously bring some. What's that gap there? trying to get himself back involved, and as you can see, this battery isn't going anywhere, is it? Let's get on board. I don't think we can get much closer to that Bentley there. Pulls out, uses the slipstream. So, obviously got the racing line into turn 1. That Bentley's gone deep. Bentley's gone very deep there. So now it's a case of giving room. That was always going to happen in the Audi. She was always going to step on him there. Being squeezed slightly. Nothing wrong with that. Just keeping his line. So, time to collect your thoughts and get back on it and create a new challenge, obviously whilst keeping an eye on Daheen behind in the 700 BMW. Which is again why I absolutely love this on PC. We get these great big grids of drivers, yeah, you're all fantastic drivers. And look at it, you've got racing going on all over the place. We've got really small gaps, we've got bigger gaps. It's fantastic. So, Dicolito, white flag on that one. So Zucchetti manages to move up a spot. Keddy's got himself up to 7th place. Took Burdick is 8th. Chris Carr is 9th. So he's actually moved up a couple of places there. 9/10 off. And then we've got Dave is up into the top 10. Well done to you. You're only 6/10 off Chris Carr. So let's do it. And then we've got Bertoncello in 11th place, a little bit further back, 9 and a bit tenths. Zakdal 12th, Kerekes 13th. We're on board with Kudasov at the moment in 14th place in the 444 Audis. He's trying to put that pressure back on Kerekes. We saw that pretty awesome fight down into turn 1, but obviously we're nowhere near as close as that on this particular lap. Daheen is 15th, he's dropped off, so he's about a second behind. And then we've got Oz in the 503 Ferrari is 16th at the moment. There is Guaglio in the number 20 Lamborghini is 17th, and then I've got to have a look on the screen for that. That name's too long. 1 second, bear with me if I can get it right. David Mayat Zuvendish, I like that, is in 18th place at the moment, and then Kamara is 19th with Aspraya in 20th place. Further down the grid, let's just get you up to date with everything before we come off this battle. Just let everybody know where we all are. So Stuart Pryor is 20th, Mark Wilhine is 21st, Alexander De La Tour is 22nd, Sebastian Limor at 23rd, Petrovic at 24th, Columbaro 25th, and then we've got Stratton 26th, Blanchett 27th, Bridgman 28th, Chris Gedman's moved himself up to 29th, so well done to you, Chris. I'll have a look later on. Top Adam is 30th, Thompson is 31st. That's not like him at all. Or Chica, really, really quick. So I don't know if it's car or setup or combination there. Malcolm Garby is 32nd, Wolfgang Kuhn is 33rd at the moment, and then Michael Van Rees 34th, Cameron Martin 35th. So it may be that we've had a couple of people disconnect potentially. Don't know. Right, let's find some good gaps. Let's find some good gaps on there. So move on, see what's going on at the top. Right, let's go helicam so we can get a good overview of what's going on. So we are a quarter of the way in the race. Remember, we do have one mandatory pit stop this evening. No fuel, so just tyres. So this will be the battle of who's being smart, who's going to be in traffic, who's going to be out of traffic, and how they think those tyres are going to last until the end of the race. So who's going to be bravest, we will find that out. But Velazzi is still in first place, Nachara is second, Amir's in third, and then Vining fourth, Suchetti fifth. So in terms of close battles that we have at the moment, I think Zakdal looks like where is old Zakdal? There he is. Oh, let's see. So Zakdal's pretty close with Bertoncello there. Chris Carr's just in front, and Dave Newham, Michael, has moved himself up into 8th place. Great work from you, battling your way through the field there. Now he's going to go and see if he can chase Keddy down. He's got a few seconds gap there, so maybe he can get a little bit of a rest now, get some clean air, and find some decent rhythm. I've seen him dance. I don't know about that. Right, chat. Your mic code keeps falling in and out. I'm so sorry about that, Craig. You know what's happening? It's because I've got that many screens on right now. as I said, I've only got 2 eyes, and there's a lot of people going on, and there's a lot of things to look at. I've got about 14 different pieces of software running, which is slightly different. He's a new man now. Yeah, of course he is. Thank you. But thanks for letting me know, Craig. I will keep front and centre, my friend. Right, back to the action. Whilst talking directly into my microphone. So Chara and Vining and Suchetti. So they're all nicely gapped still. There's a good battle going on there. Up top, the gap isn't huge. I mean, the gap back between Amir and Vining is 3.1 seconds, so that's breathing space. But these two want to play, don't they? So let's get back on board again. So now we're on board with Zagdal. So Kerekes is behind, and we've got the 92 Ferrari, Bertoncello in front. I've got to say, Mr. Carr is doing a fantastic job. Doing a fantastic job at the moment, as is Zagdal. I mean, look at him. He's 11th. He's second place in AM. There's no mean feat. It's no mean feat at all. Track temps dropped a degree. It's not going to make a massive difference right now, but if that does keep dropping, maybe the chaps are going to have to wait and see how that affects, you know, the tyre pressures. They're going to need to make any small adjustments when they come in for their pit stops, or they're just going to run with it and see what happens. So again, there's a lot of things going on in everybody's mind at the moment. You know, you could look at it from this point of view and think, well, look, everyone's doing well. What, fast pace, similar sort of gaps. Believe me, every single one of these individuals is working hard on this Friday evening. Yeah, the amount of concentration and skill it takes to drive. What was that? What's it done? Okay, yeah, the amount of concentration it takes to drive this close and at this consistent pace, you cannot underestimate it unless you actually sat in the chair yourself. And if you haven't, well, a little bit of contact there. Definitely some contact there. Oopsie, oh dear. Okay, well, Bertoncello, there was a tap there. We saw the tap. We got all out of shape into turn 2, and then obviously the car turned on him there. So that is unlucky. That is most definitely unlucky. Amir's putting the pressure on. You can see in the rearview mirror. So Amir's found some good pace at the moment, and maybe it's a case of Achira's issue. I say issue, it might just be that the tyres are going slightly. Might have used them a little bit too heavy in the first section of the race, but Amir we have been watching him, did qualify on pole. I did also say at the top of the show, I've been watching him in practice, and he was doing extremely well. So it might just be a case of he's found his form, or Nachira has dropped off in terms of tyre wear slightly. We'll see how that develops, but it's only 2 tenths at the moment. I think we'll stay on this one as we go into the first part of the lap. And that's dropped back now, 6 tenths, yeah. Okay, so obviously an issue going through. That final chicane for Amir then lost a lot of time there, which is unfortunate. So in terms of positions, yeah, and how everyone is doing at the moment, is Amir sets fastest lap of the race. So he's looking to do looking to mount another charge. So Amir dropped 2 places from the beginning, as did Dipolito, dropped 2 places as well. Bertoncello's, obviously we've just seen in the Ferrari having that incident, is down in 16th at the moment, dropped 4 places, and Maximilian Kamara dropped 10. Okay, so that, no, it's gone up to 12, sorry. Rick Tadima dropped 10 places, so that was not a great start. Beamwell has dropped 12 places in the 984 vehicle. What he's going to want either. And Michael Van Ries has actually dropped 16 places so far, so not a fantastic race for Michael. Keep at it, dude. Keep at it. First, you need to finish, as they say. It's all about the points. So we've got a few incidents that have popped on. Anything major on there. I'm sure James is having a good look at that at the moment. He's probably thinking, poops, why are you not talking about any live incidents that I'm working really hard on, yeah, and trying to figure out what happened? Well, the answer to that, James, is because of the epic, almost, well, life-changing event just before the stream not starting. That particular piece of software is not open for me, so I'm sure Gio's looking forward to seeing them all after the race. Anyway. Craig said he's gutted that he couldn't race tonight, but he's going to be there next. Good. Well, I know, Craig. I know. It's never good, is it? I have to say, I'm sure everyone is the same. We're going to just come away from that view for a moment. We'll have a look at that from above, and we'll see if their line, see if we can watch their lines develop. This is the battle we've currently got for second place overall and second place in the pro class, and these two have been, well, pretty nice and tight. And that was a great move by Mir, positioned the car beautifully there, so he would then have the inside line into the left-hander. What can Nachira do? Stays wide to try and get a good run out. You can see he's all over the banks. Definitely did get a good run out of that corner. Amir went in slightly offline there, but he's held that nicely. And Nachira is now just filling those mirrors, trying to make Amir make a mistake or go offline or miss a braking point, not get on the throttle on time, all these things that we all do when we're trying to hustle someone in front of us. And Amir, well, I don't know, is he cool in there? I don't know, I'm not in his living room or his man cave or wherever he is. I don't know where he is. But let's hope that he's nice and cool in there and can hold that position. Obviously, Machira is going to do everything in his power to get that one back. So Chris Vining's doing really well in fourth place, you can see there. And Zucchetti looks like he wants to get quite close and give him some company. So let's have a look at that. Giorgio Zucchetti there for Salvuso Racing Team. The 126 Bentley as they come down the start-finish straight with 37 minutes to go, so 23 into the race. I do believe it's a 10-minute pit window, which I think is going to make for quite interesting viewing. Yeah, you've got 10 minutes. We've got 35 drivers that I believe are still in. We've got a 5-second penalty there for Lean Muller in the 984 BMW. Obviously, I don't know what that one is for at the moment, but we shall see. So we are definitely seeing a drop-off in times. Yeah? So from looking at the sort of last lap they've done, the best lap that they've done, nobody at the moment is doing better than their previous lap. And I would suggest that is because obviously the tyres are starting to fall away. Another feature that we're going to start doing actually going forward, I was thinking about this earlier on today when I was sorting out the softwares and streams and looking at sort of the driver ratings and all the hot laps and things like that. It's always very interesting when we look at all the different cars. Again, I mentioned the Coops Cars thing, have a look on the channel, something new I'm trying to do. It's very interesting to see the way that the different cars behave on different tracks, yeah, and where their strengths and weaknesses are. So I think one thing we should start keeping an eye on at different tracks is the speed tracks. Yeah? See who's actually managing. And we could do this. It could be a good comparison for the other drivers as well when they watch this back to sort of have a look at other drivers maybe further up the grid or close to them in the championship and have a look and think, well, how is he managing to take more speed through there, or where is he gaining the time? Fortunately, with the tools that we've got here, we can start showing that information to everybody, which we will start doing. I think that will add another nice little element into the broadcast. And if you guys obviously don't, then that's fine, but I think it'll be quite interesting. Pit window is open, as you can see. The counter is front and centre, 9 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. So we're now going to start seeing strategy come into play. So again, we know there's no fuel allowed at this pit stop, it's only tyres. It's a chatty there. So the top three, they've all gapped. They're all gapped now, 3 seconds and then 2.1 seconds, another 1.7 back to Vining. And how's Dave and Kelly getting on? They're pretty much the same gap. I think it was 4.5 seconds when Dave moved himself up to 8th place. Chris Carr is in 9th, still doing a sterling job, I must say. And Zach Dow is again getting involved. So let's have a look at him. That looked like it was closer. So Zach Dow and Creacker, they have been together the entire race so far. They've had some good battles. Maybe they're just holding station a little bit, or they're thinking, am I going to follow this one into the pits, or am I going to do an opposite strat? Who knows? Who knows? But we shall obviously find out. Let's look a bit further down at the gaps. So, Geordie's had an issue there, and we've got a yellow flag out. We've got 2 yellow flags out. Okay, so that's people coming out of the pit. So we've got we've got a stop and go 30 for Bertoncello in the 92 Ferrari. Not been a great race at the moment, I would have to say. It's been quite unlucky, and he's now got a stop go, which is speeding in the pit lane, and then we've got a 15-second penalty there for Van Ries in the 57 McLaren. So those two are at the back of the grid. Toth Adam has also just got himself a stop go 30-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane. There seems to be a theme to this. I think everyone who's going into the pit lane should slow down a little bit, just a tad, because there's quite a lot of penalties coming out at the moment. Willie Michael, that's the question. Guys, if any of you are watching either on Twitch or on the channel, if you've got any questions or comments, pop them on there. We don't bite. Everyone that's in the chat, they'll all be racing with you anyway, so you can talk amongst yourselves. But yeah, you'll always get involved with that. So who we got now in the pits? Kamoa's in the pits, Will Hines in the pits, Brugman is in the pits as well. Thompson, Gedman and Van Ries are also in the pits, and Kuhn's got himself a stop go. Gardby's got a stop go as well, so that's another 2 stop go penalties. Amir just sets the new fastest lap of the race with a 44.452. That's impressive. And Amir, wow, interesting. What happened there? Velazzi's in the pits. Okay, that'll be why. So Amir takes over the lead of this race. He stayed out a little longer. We've got 6 minutes 35 seconds before the pit window closes. So now is the time. If he's been saving anything in those tyres, obviously fuel's not an issue because they'll be fully fueled. If he's got anything left in those tyres, he needs 1, maybe 2 extremely good laps whilst Velazzi gets those tyres warmed up. So you can see Velazzi is still in the pits at the moment. So Keddy's now put himself up to 6th. Velazzi's pit stop is done. You can see that on the tower on the left hand side. The sort of gold ones, that means you've got 1 mandatory stop to do, and when obviously that goes green, that means they have then left their pit box. Doesn't mean they're out of the pit lane, they've just completed their stop. So this is key. This is now key for the race. As they're coming down there, I'm just going to see if he pits this lap, and then we can build the tension, can't we? Yeah, we can see what's going to happen. Chris Vining's only 2 tenths behind Machira. I think Machira's got some serious tyre issues going on there. I will jump onto that battle as soon as I know Amir's pitting or not. Amir is pitting. Okay, so we're going to jump onto this. I mean, look how close they are. They're both going to follow each other into the pits. No. So Vining comes into the pits, and Machira decides to stay out.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
Sorry, Machira pits, Chris stays on. Okay, interesting. I was going to say, Machira, those tyres were done. And if you stayed out for another lap, I think you're just really asking for trouble, to be fair. Keddy's coming under pressure. Who's he coming under pressure by? I was going to say Dave, but no, Dave's decided to stick it in the pits. So Keddy's running long. Kudasov's got himself a stop-go 30 as well, and Guaglio's also got a stop-and-go 30. So I think everyone needs to have a new look at their sort of pit stops, really. and just make sure they've got those nailed. So we're watching, so Velazzi, remember, was leading this race, and there you can see, just coming out the pit lane, we've got Amir. So that lap didn't allow him to build enough of a lead to be able to keep a lead, but hey, he is now in second place, I'd say quite comfortably as well. So he can now, obviously he's got a lap younger tyres, so that may help him towards the end of the race, who knows. 28 minutes left, only 3.5 minutes left in terms of the pit window. Dave Newham, I'm going to get it right in a minute, I'm just going to call him Dave. So Dave comes out of the pits. Doing a splendid job. Pit stop complete in 12th place. Zucchetti, as you can see, has just come into the pits at the top of the screen. So Chris Vining is still out in front at the moment in the 113 Aston. Keddy, he also decides he's got to put that Porsche in for her tyre change. Interesting, guys. And so Dehane's got the 30 Kadevsky, and they haven't served theirs yet. So Colin Barrow is in the pits in the AM class, and the other two are serving their penalties. I hope I don't see any more red drivers get penalties, really. It's a shame. In terms of close battles at the moment, everything's pretty well gapped. I mean, I wouldn't even say a second is a close battle anymore, apart from Chris Carr. Hold on a minute, Jeff. Right, let's have a look. So, Chris Carr has been fantastic so far in this race. He's getting hard on those brakes there as he's coming up to, who's that, 55? Well, 55 is normally Mr. Thompson. On the other side, so Zach down. Again, you got to think, these guys are pitted, yeah? So Chris Carr was comfortably, I'm not saying miles ahead, but he was comfortably leading the AM class. He has completed the pit stop. He is now behind Zach Dell, who we've seen having a great fight just in front of us there. Him and Creacker have been, well, they've been the best mates for the entire race, haven't they? So we might. Fantastic. Right, so Kerriker's there and Zach Delt having themselves some more fun. Let's get back on board with Chris, because I think Chris has got himself a little bit of work to do at the moment. I'm sure he's quite happy to get it done though. As you can see, up to 12 chasing down Zach Dow. So this is your battle for the AM class. It's been building quite nicely. S. Oz in the 503 Ferrari Pro Driver has also got the stop-go 30, which is unfortunate, and a Brummaham in the 77 Porsche, you see at the bottom, has got himself a drive-through, so that will be track limits violation, I would assume. Track temperature's dropped another degree, so it's gone from 25 at the start of the race down to 23. So you'd have to be hoping, Chris Vining's in the pits by the way, current leader of the race, so Petrovic may... has gone into the pits as well. So normal order is going to be resumed, yeah, once Vining's in the pits and off the top of that leaderboard. So Velazzi's leading. Amir is 4 seconds down. Remember, he pitted a lap earlier. You know, really went for it on that sort of last lap that he did before he pitted. Just wasn't quite enough. So he was closer than 4 seconds, I believe, on the exit of the pits. But you know, Velazzi has been extremely quick. So pit lane is closed. Petrovic is in the pit, so that's fine. He got in before them, so that's no problem at all. And Machiro, remember, was in second place for easily the first third of this race, and then I believe had a tyre wear issue, is in third place. Vining's in fourth after completing that stop, so it's a good drive by him at the moment. And then we've got Dipolito, who is in fifth. That's worth a look, certainly. That is worth a look. So this could be the battle for fourth and fifth. We've got 3.5 second gap back to Zucchetti. That's fine. gives plenty of space for these guys to actually think about how they're racing each other. Don't need to panic on that front. Keddy's a further 6 seconds back, and then Traction Dave, Mr. Newham, is 3.6 behind, so he is catching. That gap is less, a couple of tenths less at that, but it is less. So he is catching Keddy at the moment. Kerekez is in 9th, and then we've got Zach Dow 10th, with Mr. Carr shortly behind him, only 7 tenths. They're battling for the lead in the AM class, but also Dilatoir has decided to come and join that party as well in the Aston. I want to see what that gap is. Oh, and Carr's got a 15-second penalty. Ouch. What happened there? What happened there? 15-second penalty. So he's battling. He knows. So if he's got any chance of potentially sealing a win in this first round, he's got to try and get past. Now it's a 30-second penalty. So it's got to be track limits. Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's see what happens with that then. So that's going to give Delatoir an opportunity to move up into second place. Deemer's in 13th, and then Mr. Mayer van Vinch. Oh no, I'm going to get it wrong. Oh, 1 second. Let me get it right. Yeah, Mayer Zuvindish, that's it. I knew it. Of course I did. It was easy. So Amir's just gone purple in the last lap, so he dropped it into the 43s now, so Amir's pushing, he needs to push, but Gilazzi seems to have had an extremely strong pace for the entire race so far. Probably won't be too concerned by all that, if I'm honest with you. And we'll get back on for this battle, so they've closed up again. That gap is not particularly big, it's only a second at the moment. And then Chris, obviously we've just been on board with Chris Carr fighting with Alex. For the lead of the AM class, under a second between them, but obviously Chris has got that 30-second penalty, which is not helpful at all, is it, really? Other close battles we've got going on at the moment. So Stuart Pryor, let's have a look at Stuart. We haven't looked at Stuart much this evening. So Stuart is in the number 10, the dirty Aston. I love the Aston. So he's putting some pressure on Armand Petrovic at the moment. Less than a second, as you can see, on the run down. Let's change how we're viewing this. Let's look at it slightly differently, because it's great being on board and look at all these other things. I want us to see the driver inputs. Right, so if we look at the bottom right of the screen, we can obviously now see the G-forces on that little barometer there. We can also see the throttle and brake inputs. We can see he's on map 1. You can also see the brake balance. So we can have a look and gain a lot of information. Yeah, we've also got the deltas up in the top left. So it's going to be interesting to see. I want to have a look at the trail braking, yeah, to see if we're stamping or if we're holding nicely. As we come up towards turn 1 to Alf. Quite quick off the brakes on that. Squeeze the throttle. Slight lift and straight back on again. He's going to lift through. He does. Just feeling their weight. So need some hard and then delicate braking into this one. That was certainly done. There's a challenge coming here, boys. Petrovic goes defensive, keeps that inside line, so he's going to make Pryor go all the way around the outside, but that was never going to happen there, let's be honest. Good, nice battle going on there. Right, further down the grid, what have we got here? So Christian Bercancello's 2 laps down, Wolfgang's still going. That's good to see, and no, so it looks like Murphy Garvey has decided to put it in the pit. Christopher Gedman. Let's have a look at Christopher Gedman. We haven't given him any airtime so far this evening. I'm sure he won't be very happy with me for that, but so So, Christopher Gedman, you can see there, currently in 29th place in the AM class in the 79 Bentley. He's chasing, I believe, a very good friend of his in real life, Ian Thompson, who's just in front of him in the 55 McLaren. You can see Ian's got himself a 15-second penalty as well, which is a shame. Although Chris will probably be laughing. Wow, he might be trying to console him in a party chat. Who knows? But I doubt it very much. Still a few watching at the moment. I do thank you. If you want to ask any questions, drop a like, say hi, want to shout out, happy days, let me know. Happy to oblige. So Relaxi's still leading at the moment, and Amir, yeah, so Amir's quickest lap is a 43.6. That was the last lap, so Amir is trying to put some pressure on. Clearly, gap has come down. It's now 2.9 seconds. Remember, that was just over 3 a little while ago. We've got a 6-second gap back to Machira, and then we've got Chris Vining's 5.4 behind them. Everyone else is pretty well gapped then. Let's get back on board with Chris Carr and his epic duel that he's been having this evening with Alex Zakdal. 2 tenths between them. Wow, you say 2 tenths. I think there's probably not 2 tenths between them, is there? Let's go cockpit. Let's see. Let's get the action live. See what it's like on board. Lexus versus McLaren. 2 very contrasting cars. In fact, you probably couldn't get 2 dissimilar cars, to be fair. That Lexus, she'll eat curbs all day long. The McLaren, she's so pitch sensitive. You know, the aero balance on her, you've got to be so precise with those inputs, so smooth. You don't want to be incurring the wrath of the McLaren. And famed twitchiness, same as the Ferrari, and well, obviously the Porsche wins that crown, evidently. But Chris, it does look like he's trying to hustle, Alex. Who knows? Say Stewart looks like he was putting on a lot of pressure there to Petrovic. Remember, these guys have been having a good battle over the last couple of laps, and yes, indeed. But as I always like to say, I'm going to change camera here. I said it earlier on as well. You know, everyone's having this lovely battle and having a lot of fun, and this is all great. But look what's happening. Yeah, Blanchett is caught right up to the back of both of these two in the number 5 Ferrari. And they may end up being in a situation where they've spent that much time battling each other that they both end up losing a place. You just don't know what's going to happen. So, Blanchett, I think you should just sit there for a moment or two and just see how this develops, because Brian puts the move up the inside. That was an excellent move there, and Petrovic goes wide over that sausage curb, which obviously puts up that Merc out of place, and he's offline again going through there. So Blanchett manages to make up a spot, and then behind them Lee Muller is now coming to get involved in the 984 BMW, and obviously Lee Muller is a pro driver, so you would assume, given that split, that there'll be more pace in that BMW. Interesting. So where we're at, we have got 15 minutes, so 3/4 of this race has been completed. Track temps haven't changed, they're still 20 and 23 from the pit stops. No change in the lead. Velazzi is still ahead of Amir. It's 2.6, 2.5 seconds now, so that gap is changing. Nachira seems pretty solid there in 3rd place, and then we've got Chris Vining and Dipolito are still in 4th and 5th respectively. Zucchetti is up to 6th, Keddy's 7th. Dave Newham is in 8th place currently, 2.6 behind Keddy now, so that gap is coming down. That battle could develop. In the latter part of the race. Carequez is 9th at 11.5 seconds further back, and then we've got Zakdal and Chris, who've been having well, they've been having a battle pretty much since the pit stops, and it has been since the pit stops. Very, very close battle there. Delatour is 12th, and then Rick Tadima. Let's have a look at Rick's, only 1.5 behind for Schubert Motorsport and the number 3 Beamer. David Merzuvendish has got himself a 5-second penalty there, which obviously won't please him too much. We've got Blanchett and Liam Waller, so there's still a second between those two. That was the battle we were just watching. And as a consequence from that, as we did say might happen, Petrovic is now 3 seconds further back down the road. So unless Armans was trying too hard and has maybe had a little wander off track or had to get really out the throttle and lost time that way, yeah, that's unfortunate. So Jordi Stratton's 19th at the moment, and then we've got Jeff Colombaro in 20th place. Kutuzov is 21st, 13.6 seconds further back, and then Sergio Oz is 22nd in that 503 Ferrari. We've had quite a few penalties in terms of pit stops and track limits at the moment. Gilles Dehaene is in 23rd place. Loris is only 2.3 seconds behind. Why not indeed? Again, we've got more battles developing, as we can see. Bridgman is 25th, and then just behind him 1.5 seconds is Mark Wilhelm, 26th, and Camara is only a second. That looks like a decent gun. Let's have a look at these two. Let's have a look. So this is currently the scrap for 27th and 26th and 27th place. Yeah. Given still, doesn't matter where you are in the field, yeah, you will be having competitive racing. You are going to be working hard for an hour. Well, it's not an hour, is it? You know, this is the hour. Then we've got the 20 minutes qualifying. Then you've got the hour practice. Then you've got however many hours you're going to put in during the day in the practice server or the week leading up to it. You know, some people like to kind of arrive and drive. Others, they don't do that. They want to know. They want to learn that track in their car. And I think to be fair, most people on this side of the fence, shall we say, in terms of PC, I would definitely foresee them putting in a lot of time, and why not? We need more Dave Cam. Well, you can watch him on his YouTube channel, Michael. Although I don't know why you would. I mean, COMMS by COMMS is obviously the best channel out there and rising, without a doubt. Potentially. So Camaro went wide then, so he's probably pushing a little bit too hard, so that's allowing Wilhite to get a little bit further down the road. That gap. So we've got a nice little gap in front there as well, haven't we? So we've got some good, nice battles going on at the moment. Has he got the move done? Chris has. Has he? No, not yet. He hasn't. Somewhere then, which is unfortunate. Right, so just to please certain people that have requested, I'm not a DJ, but hey, I do take requests sometimes. Here he is, Dave Cam. Let's have a look. David Newham in TDA. So I take it his team's called Tada. I'm telling you his team's called Tada because it's his first race. He's quite comical, is Dave. You know, he's obviously trying to sort of say, here I am on PC. Very good, very droll. Let me know if that's right, Michael, please. So Velazzi is still out on top, 1.7 seconds. So Amir's brought that gap down again. Can Amir push and be able to get himself in a position to challenge within the final 10 minutes of the race? That is a question we will find the answer of. Achira is still in third, Chris Vining still fourth, Dippolito in fifth, Chetty sixth, Keddy seventh, and then we're on board currently with our Tada Dave Newham, joking, in 8th place. Fantastic drive so far, first one on the PC. Korakes is 9th, so he's 10 seconds further down the road, so Dave doesn't have to worry about what's going on behind him, and as I'm sure all of his fan club and his living room are telling him at the moment, he just needs to concentrate on closing down Keddy, although Keddy then might kick him out of the FRL racing team if he beats him on his debut race. I don't know, it might happen. Thanks, Craig. Oh, that's nice. That is so nice of you. But you, well, I don't know. I mean, you might, I don't know. Yeah, you should watch me. I agree. I do agree. I'm younger. I've got a little bit more hair. That's all it is. Right. So how is our battle going on in the AM class? So Zach Bell is still in first place in the AM class. Chris Carr is still second place. Obviously, he's got that 30-second penalty to go on there, and De La Tour is still in 12th, one lap down. Kadima's 13th in the pro class, 1.3 seconds further back, and then David Maya done it again. Vendish. By the end of the season, I guarantee you, everybody, I'll have all your names down to a T. Yeah, and then you'll leave. Hopefully not. Right, Mr. Pryor in the number 10 Aston is running 15th place. Aline Muller is 16th. Not too far behind, but has got a 5-second penalty. And then we've got Petrovic, as we saw they had that really nice battle earlier on. Obviously Blanchett got dragged into that battle and made up some places. Stratton is 19th, Columbaro 20th at the moment, and then Kudasov is 21st. Loris Guglio is in 22nd place, and then Brijmahan, that's the one, is 23rd. So we've got 31 left in there. So Brijmahan is 23rd, then we've got Mark Wilhein's 24th at the moment. It's only 1.4 seconds behind, so I'm going to get off Dave Cam, because that's a bit boring right now. We've got a three-way battle going on here. Sorry, Michael Races. You will have to excuse me. Maximilian Camara's 25th, 1.8 behind, as you can see in the rearview mirror. And then in front of Wilheim, we've got Brijmahan and Loris not too far ahead, so that battle could develop quite nicely. Gilles Deheen is 26th and still running, well done. Ian Thompson 27th, and then Christopher Gedman is 28th. Are two, well, I don't know if there's any other Scotsmen in the grid, but those two are flying that flag behind the Englishman. Sorry about that. Clough Adam is 29th at the moment, and then we've got Sergio Oz, who's had a nightmare race, and Mika Gardby as well is still in, and that is important. Chris Carr is still only 0.4 behind Zach Dell in the battle for the lead of the AM class, and then it's 0.3. We'll get back on board of this. Amazing battle these guys have had, and look at that, Zucchetti is now only 0.4 behind Dipolito, so that battle for 4th and 5th is getting interesting. You folks might also have noticed at the top of the screen, Galazzi's lead back to Amir is down to a second. Now that, well, obviously we're going to have a look at that at some point. We're just going to see how this one shapes out a little bit. But Amir is making a concerted effort to have a scrap for that lead with 6 minutes left. Can you imagine, if you was Bilatsi at the moment and, Chris had to take some seriously evasive action there because Zakdal had to get hard on the brakes, and I believe that was because Kerekes was probably a bit too late on his brakes, and that just had the concertina effect. Chris was lucky there not to end up crashing into the back Zakdal that we're on board with at the moment. So Zucchetti, as we were just mentioning, he's only 0.3 behind Dipolito. What a fantastic battle this has been. They've pretty much held station for the whole race. It now looks like they've just decided, right, there's 5 minutes left, let's have a sprint race, let's go and have some fun. And obviously you can see behind, that's not Keddy. Right, as this happens, I'm going to move off this, ladies and gents. We'll come back to it because Amir 0.8 behind Velazzi. Again, Velazzi's had a fantastic race so far, hasn't put a foot wrong, managed to move himself up at the start of the race, and has held a commanding lead. I'm not talking 10 seconds. There has been a commanding lead during this race. Everything has seemed nice and controlled. And Amir obviously found himself back in 4th place and has then been battling his way back through consistently quick laps, holds the quickest lap of the race as well with a 43.6, and has been slowly chipping away after those pit stops. Remember, it was 4 seconds when they came out of the pits. It's been slowly chipping away at that, so we're around about 3/4 of a second down, 4.5 minutes left to go. Track temp has dropped 1, as has the ambient temperature, so The engines will be kicking out a little bit more power. How's Dave getting on? He's still 3.1 behind Kelly. I don't think he's catching him up. So Chetty seems to have dropped off a little bit as well. As we need to pay some serious attention to this battle that's going on. This is for the lead, and this is round 1 of the championship, so no one wants to throw away any potential good points. However, that Bentley, she's not looking as planted at the moment as Amir's Ferrari. Let's just watch the back end of that Bentley. Let's just see if she's behaving herself. And then actually, do you know what we are going to do? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go on board with him, and I'm going to change. Right, let's have a look at the steering inputs. Right, so he's got his traction on 4, ABS on 3. I want to just have a quick look at these steering inputs just to see, yeah, if he's in and out of the throttle or if he's having to make big corrections on the Bentley. It may be that she's just, well, there's one correction, so that's going to lose a 10th. So it may just be that the tyres, that they're just gone, and Velazzi's just literally holding on for dear life. So we've got a double yellow being waved in front somewhere. That looks like, well, he's in the pit, so that's probably what that's for. Yes. Right, any other position changes going on at the moment. So this is the battle for the top 2. This is 1 and 2 in the Pro class. In terms of the AM class, Chris Carr and Zach Dell, they're still together. It's 0. It's about a second between those two. First and second in the AM class. But as we saw previously, they are right on the back of Carrequez, who's 9th in the Pro class. Both nearly had themselves a bit of an accident there. Dave's doing okay. Well, Dave's doing very well actually in 8th. Kenny's in 7th at the moment. And then we've got... sorry, just got distracted there. Alexander Villatois is still in 12th place. Tadima's all over the back. It's only 4 tenths. We can have a quick look at that comment. Yes, of course we can. So we've got Beamer versus the Aston. Some beautifully liveried cars. And you guys are all showing some great imagination and no doubt some passion for your vehicles and your teams. It's always fantastic to see. Further down the grid, everything is pretty well gapped. Camara's 1.5 behind Griezmann for 23rd and 24th. That is the closest one down the field. So Chris Carr 0.1. Oh, these boys just don't stop, do they? They're loving it. Chris has got ahead. Chris has scored. No contact, boys, no contact. So Chris and Zachdale going literally side by side as they have pretty much been this entire race. 1 minute left to go. Amir is a second behind Velazzi for the lead. Zucchetti's trying to put some pressure on Dipolito towards 5th place. That's under a second as well. And these boys have literally, it has been 0.3, 0.4 for the last half an hour. Literally, it's been fantastic. Consistency is awesome. Let's go back on board with Amir as we're on the last lap of the race. Amir, yeah, so he holds the quickest lap so far, still. So we've got a back marker in front there. Let us hope that that individual, when they see the blue flags, obviously don't jump out the way. We know what we're talking about. It's not Formula 1, but respects those blue flags and understands the magnitude of what's going on behind. Jumps out the way. Don't turn all the way in. It's going to put them off. Okay, we've got a bit of run out of there. So the Bentley, she was really out of shape on the way in, but then Amir had to back out a little bit more mid-corner. We've got just being kicked up on the left-hand side, so we don't have anybody off track. What a finish this is. Who is going to take the first victory of the season? And Zucchetti's also only 0.4 behind Dipolito, so we'll have to keep on that one after this. There's not many corners left now, so Velazzi, can Velazzi just keep it together, just make sure that big old Bentley is positioned nicely, doesn't lose out in any of the throttle zones, and it looks, unless we have a major wobble, well, I'm not saying it. Right, as we come through the chicane for the last time, and we've only got the last corner to go. There's a little change on the steering wheel there, and well done. So it looks very much like, so Vilazzi is your race winner. Congratulations. Well done to you. That was amazing. Well done. Well done to you. Let's have a look at another close battle as we're coming up to... Well, let's not actually. Let's go back here. So, Amir, well done to you, Amir. You managed to bring yourself home in second place. Qualified in pole. Did get the fastest lap. And you were not far off that. Well done to you. Nachira is third place. Well done, Nachira. Great race from you. Chris is in fourth place there. Chris Vine in Dipolito in fifth. Zuchetti in sixth place. Great battle between you two for fifth and sixth. Keddy, a very good seventh place for you, my friend. Well done, and thank you for saving me earlier on. David Newham, look at that. Look at that. First race on PC, 8th place. Well done, mate. You should be proud of yourself. Hopefully everyone's happy in your house. So, Careca's 9th place. And then we've got Zach Dell, obviously, coming across the line. Takes first place in the AM category. Well done to you, Alex. Great race. And you and Chris Carr, I mean, that's one of the best races I've seen. The best half an hour's worth of close racing I've seen for a long time. Tadima is there in 13th place. And then we've got David Mayer Zuvindish. Got it right. Thank you very much. When it counted, currently in 13th place, looking to cross the line. Let's have a quick check in here. What a race that was. What a race that was. Chat section isn't the same without Supercart Ray. No, I'll try and bribe them to come in. He wants extra airtime next week and I'll get the hashtag trending. No problem at all. Great racing, great comms. What a time to be alive. Yeah, I like it, Craig. I love that enthusiasm, my friend. Well done. If anybody hasn't liked this, please do. Please do. It all helps. Helps the channel. What a race. Let's go and have a look. Let's go and have a look at the leaderboard. You guys all did fantastically well this evening. Fantastically well this evening. There's your timetable. So Velazzi takes the win. Congratulations. Second place Amir. Third place Nichara. There's your podium. And then in terms of the AM class, we've obviously got Zach Dell, Mr. Carr, and then Mr. Vindershaw. That's the one. In third place, there's your podium in the AM. So well done, you guys. Liam Muller, people are leaving already. Don't leave. I can't say where everyone finished. Liam Muller 12th. Pryor finished 13th. Blanchett 14th in the Ferrari. Petrovitz in 15th. We've seen some absolutely fantastic racing tonight. There's a little bit of chat going on there. Ladies and gents, what a race. Okay, very happy I was here for that one. Next week is obviously round 2. Same time next week, same format. If anybody wants to get involved, if you've got a PS4 or 5 lying around, or if you're on PC, come over and have a play as well. It's all good. Yeah. Big congratulations to everybody. Thanks to Marco Keddy. Big thanks to him. Big thanks to James for helping out there when the stream did not want to go live. And that would have been terrible news if that had happened. And a big thank you to everyone that took part. You were all outstanding. Some great races. I'm very much looking forward to getting involved again next week. Again, have a look at the other bits on the channel. Comms by Coops. Have a look at the Formula Racing League website and the Twitch channel. And get involved. Everybody wins. Alright, so I think, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, until next week, Comms by Coops, out.